Hey everyone, it's Dylan. We're back again for another week here in the shop. This week we're mostly just going to be working on the Nelk table. It's actually kind of a complex table because we've got a logo to put in it, there's leg pockets, there's holes for power, so we're going to be showing you a lot of that process. We're also going to be taking the River Rock table out of the clamp, so we glued on that sort of waterfall edge, so we're going to take that out, explain a little bit about how that worked, and then we'll also be demolding the 4-foot round burl table that we're doing for Olympia Trust. So a few different things going on this week, but I hope you enjoy this week's video. You guys just watched Spencer demold the piece here for Nelk. We've got it all, well, Joe's actually got it all trimmed up here so it's less sharp to carry. Now we're gonna take it downstairs, put it on the CNC. He said he's a wuss. They said it's because Joe's a wuss. We're gonna... Oh, poor Joe. Poor Joe. We'll get this down and we'll get it on the CNC now to flatten it.
You've been good. Take it a bit.
Oh yeah. Chipping geese. Points. Oh.
We are routering in full send into the middle of their table. So we got their logo here in Spire, and I created a tool path to cut just the full send in the middle of the size of the table. And then you save that and import it into our Mach 3, which runs the CNC, and then we run it. So to figure out where we wanted that logo in the middle of their table, we CNC'd into our CNC bed just where that table needed to line up, and we actually cut full send into the MDF in the middle, but now we know exactly where to line our table up, and we know it should go exactly where it did before.
Spencer just got this cut here and he got everything all chiseled out. So we've got full send routed into the top of the table, and then he's actually just went around all the lettering with silicone. What that's for, so we can actually over pour and not have it kind of flow all over the top of the table. And then over here behind us, see Spencer's got everything set up. We got our high temp resin. Reason being, it has a little bit slower cure time, so it's just going to soak in better into the pores of the wood there. And then this one, right? Yeah, we're using the pure white from Black Diamond, so we're going to mix that in. It'll give kind of a metallic white. 2 days now since we did the full sand pour. Yesterday you could still dig your fingernail into this, but today it's completely rock hard. So now we're gonna go along with the CNC and we're just gonna take off the excess resin that's on there. And I don't know if we can get this thing stood up actually because we don't have enough people here today, but it should look pretty good either way. Getting ready to pop this thing out of the clamps here. The big waterfall glue up. We got that done last week and it actually worked out pretty good. Again, we did the epoxy in the middle and then the wood glue on the outsides. So we'll take it apart and see if it looks okay. Yeah. Countertop. We've got it all out of the clamps and we've actually come up close. We've put a little 45-degree bevel on here. You can just barely see our glue joint, and there's where our lineup is, so it's super close. I really don't think it would have been possible to get any closer if we tried, so Ben did a very good job laying everything out on here and making sure it was all nice and flush. Right now we're actually waiting though to get the LED strips in that are going to go underneath, because we're going to measure the thickness of them, like how thick they stand up underneath, to determine where we need to cut the final length on the bottom. So we're just kind of holding off for now until that's ready, but let us know what you guys think of this piece. I kind of really like this style. So we just got that round table for Olympia Trust demolded there. So we've got to cut it round on the CNC, flatten it, and then we also have to put a leg pocket in the bottom just for the base that's going on there. So that's all probably going to happen next week. As well, next week we're also going to be pouring this slab here. So we accidentally put it in upside down, so we have to flip it over. This is actually the bottom. But this is going to be a dining table, just kind of nice simple maple here, highly figured. I think it's getting a smoky gray resin if I'm not mistaken, but that'll be next week. And then next week as well, our goal is to actually try and get the first coat of finish on the table for Nelk, as well as the first coat of finish on the rock countertop. So if everything goes to plan, we should be able to get that done. It would really mean a lot to us if you guys could leave a like on this video here. It really helps us in the YouTube algorithm, and we can just spend more time on these. But we will see you next week.